What is up, Star Seeds? It's Sid, and today we are going to be talking about the Akashic Records once again, but in this video I wanted to touch on how the Akashic Records and God, as people call it, are the same thing. So, God, Allah, whatever you call this higher power, your God, it's a higher power, right? And the Akashic Records is this all-knowing hall of records information. And if you're someone who believes in a God, whether that be someone separate from yourself, or if you believe God is in everything, and that you are God and that we are all God, that's like that all-knowing, divine, creator, manifester being, right? Like God knows everything. The Akashic Records knows everything. God is everything because God is energy. Energy is everything, right? It's like what we're made up of. If God made us, then we're God, right? Like we're God's children, essentially, I believe. People think. So, I don't know. Let me know what you believe, but I'm pretty sure that's what Christians believe. That's what people of all different religious backgrounds believe at the core, is that like we're all one. We're this divine being because this greater force made us, right? The only difference is, I believe, if you're someone who taps into the Akashic Records, this divine all-knowingness, this God essence, right? You can see that like we are that as well, and that we are all-knowing too. Like it's not like we're anything less than God, I guess. But I don't know, I just wanted to make this a short video and say that if you don't believe in the Akashic Records, that's fine, but I feel like you probably do believe in this like all-knowing God being. So maybe talking to God, like if you pray and if you talk to God or something like that, that's what I do. I just call it tapping into the Akashic Records. And maybe I get different information than you get when you talk to God. So I just wanted to say that. It's different words, it's different names for the same meaning. And you might think it's different because we, communicate about different things. If I'm tapping into the Akashic Records and you're talking to God, we're probably having different conversations, But it's still doing the same thing. We're tapping into an all-knowing higher force, a greater force. But if you're powerful enough to talk to God, if you're powerful enough to tap into the Akashic Records, you're just unlocking these parts of your mind that like a lot of people don't use 24/7. But then again, we all do 24/7. We just don't really know it. And I wouldn't call it a higher force or a greater force. It just kind of is what it is. I mean, it's a higher vibration than what we're normally on. So that's why it's a higher force. But I just wanted to say that. And all religions are all based in the same, all major religions are based in the same major belief of just love, peace, harmony, and happiness, I believe. Religion has just kind of twisted it, and I don't want to bash any religion, but that's just why I'm a bit more spiritual, because I feel like spirituality is religion without the religion, if that makes sense. It's that belief in that love and peace and harmony without the strictness and super labeliness of religion, I guess you could say. It's just more go with the flow. It's not, dictated by any church or any government or anything like that. Spirituality just is that, God practice without the authority kind of overlooking that and managing it. It's just I don't know, it's kind of like entrepreneurship, instead of a 9-to-5, I guess you could call it. But that's how I see things. I wanted to share that because, I don't know, I usually don't let those super woo-woo religious people get to me. That's I call them woo-woo religious people. I feel like to religious people, I sound like woo-woo, but to spiritual people, religious people kind of sound like woo-woo. But I don't even want to create that divide of spirituality and religion. That's really not what I'm trying to do. I'm kind of trying to unite everyone by saying that, like, it's okay if you are religious, and even if you watch this and you still want to stay religious, that's fine. But I feel like as long as you're just, like, aware that, like, all religions are kind of based in that one truth, and I feel like we can all relate to, like, believing in that one truth. But even if you're like, no, but I really like this one religion, like, I really resonate with being a Muslim, or I really resonate with being a Christian, or I really resonate with being a Jew, and it's like, even the specific things about that religion I resonate with strongly, and, like, that's what I'm going with this life. That is cool. That is cool, dude. That's totally fine. It's just being aware and conscious of it is a huge step. Like, I feel like people who, like, convert religions, like, if they're raised in one religion and they're like, no, I'm not a Christian, I'm really a Muslim, I feel like that's, like, wow, like, kudos to you. But it's like, if you were born into this religion and then you just kind of go with it, it's like, would you do that if, you know, you weren't born like that, I guess? Like, if you weren't just kind of raised into it. I feel like you gotta unlearn to learn. So if you were born as a certain religion and your family just kind of claimed that for you, I think that's a big signal to be like, do I really want this? Because it's so common, especially where I'm from. There is, like, a lot of Muslims around as well, and I do know a decent amount of Jewish people who are just kind of, like, born into that. But I would say primarily around here where I'm from, it's Christian, and, like, the people who are Christian, I don't know, 8 out of 10 of them probably, like, don't really go to church, but they're like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. But it's like, they don't really know what that all entails, okay? And of course, there's that 2 out of 10, that 20%-ish that go to church and are really all about it. Good for you either way. But it's like, I don't know, if you don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, then don't go down that rabbit hole and just do something you're passionate about. But I just wanted to say that it's like the Akashic Records, talking to God, I don't know, talking to nature. If you're like, no spirituality, no religion, atheist, if you're like that, well then, heck, just listen to your heart. Because I'm not about finding stuff through external sources. I'm super skeptic, I'm super scientific. So if you're down that path of, like, it's got to be proven to me, but you haven't had these mystical experiences yet that will throw you down the spirituality path, and you're like, I just focus on myself, okay, then the Akashic Records, talking to God, it's the same thing as talking to your gut, your higher self. Because I hardly be talking to extraterrestrials even. I feel like I'm known in the spiritual community as this girl who taps into the Akashic Records, taps into these past lives, these extraterrestrial beings. Sure, yeah, I do that. But I don't really talk to these extraterrestrials, like, spirits or souls or entities, like, directly. I do that occasionally, but I really don't. Just like I don't really talk to dead people anymore. And when I do, it's through my higher self. It's me. It's me doing it. I know that. And I don't give my power to anything external than me. I only get information from me. And like I said, on the occasion that I do talk to another spirit, another slice of the one, I mean, we all are one, it's through my higher self that information gets, like, I don't know, fact-checked, I guess you could say. Or just verify that, like, the vibes are high enough for it to enter my mental sphere, I guess you could say. But I just wanted to kind of clarify that because, like I said, I don't let the religious people get to me, really. I don't let any people who have kind of negative, lower vibrational things to say get to me, really. But at the end of the day, I am an empath. And at the end of the day, when someone says something that just kind of shows that they don't really understand where I'm coming from, that's fine, because I went through that phase where I wanted to preach to everybody, and, like, I don't want to change anyone, but I really just wanted to get the message out there and plant the seed, and if you want to water it, it'll grow. But I feel like now, especially within the last few years, but even within the last few months and few weeks, honey, I've been like, I just want to preach to my own choir. I don't want to preach to any choir, but the choir that wants to listen to me. Like, I feel like I'm at the point where it's like, sure, it's fun to plant seeds sometimes, but it's like, I would much rather speak to the people who want to hear what I have to say, so I'm not gonna use my energy to try to explain something to people that just simply do not want to hear it and their mind will not be changed by me. Sure, I might have planted the seed, but it took way too much of my energy to do that for me to want to keep on doing that. So, I don't know. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for anyone who wants to heal, who wants to hear what I have to say, to potentially learn from it, to put it in their mental file of, I'll think on that, and when I get further proof on that, I'll expand my beliefs on it. But, yeah. So, God, the Akashic Records, that one all-knowing thing, that higher self, they're all different words for essentially the same thing, you guys. There's a force in this universe that is the universe, that is everything, that just simply knows everything. It's omnicognizant. Peace out.